Hello everyone, it's me again, and today I'm bringing you another episode covering the build process of Red Hood V2. And today we're going to be doing a few little things. First off, starting with swapping back to the stock plastic plunger tube so that the blaster can actually properly prime and fire and be used until I can find some way to correctly mount the metal plunger tube inside the blaster for it to work. And then we're also going to be slightly more permanently affixing the outer faux barrel that centers our actual aluminum barrel and our friction fit scar. And then after that, I've got some skateboard grip tape that I want to put on the firing grip for some added traction. Alright, so I've got the plunger tubes swapped, so now the blaster actually functions. But once I went to test it and fire a couple mags through it, I actually noticed that about half the time the blaster would not properly catch. And so I just went in and swapped to a different catch spring out of my parts bin. I don't remember what it came out of, but it looks almost exactly the same as the stock catch spring, only it has one more coil. And just doing the hand squeeze test seemed ever so slightly beefier. And now that I've done that, it catches every time, no problem. Another thing I noticed while testing the blaster was that every time I would prime, there was a little bit of wobble where the handguard meets the rest of the upper receiver. So I'm going to see if I've got anything to fix that. Alright, so I found a couple of these in-strike barrel attachment tightening rings, which I do believe should work on fixing our little issue here. So I'm going to go ahead and start doing that. Okay, so it does fit as it should, except I think I'm going to have to trim it in a couple of areas so that the priming bars still have ample room to slide through. So it actually looks like the tolerances are too tight for one of these shims. So much so that when I tried to force it, it just ripped it apart. So that definitely is not going to work. So I'm just going to reassemble it and I'll figure out a better solution at some point in the future. Before I close it up though, I took the liberty of wrapping some E-tape around the faux outer barrel so that it locks in place a little bit better on that part. And then I also did 4 separate wraps of E-tape on the actual aluminum barrel itself so that it's a little tighter on the faux barrel. I was going to wrap some E-tape around the barrel where the scar fits, but the tolerances are just simply too tight for the thickness of E-tape. So for now, I'm just going to leave the scar as it is, simply friction fit, and I'll find a better way to mount it in the future. Okay, so now that all of that is completed, it's time to apply our skateboard tape to our grip. And at the moment, I'm thinking probably just going to apply some on this sort of section here, because that's where you're going to need the most traction. And I think it will cosmetically look the best. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to start doing. Okay, well, unfortunately, due to the type of adhesive on the back of this skateboard tape, it doesn't really adhere well at all to this kind of plastic for some reason, which is strange, but okay. So I kind of bought this entire roll of skateboard tape for absolutely nothing. Sucks. But I guess it's not really a big deal, because the more I kind of mess around with it, the more I don't really like it. While it is very grippy, it kind of feels like sandpaper, and I don't really want to hold sandpaper for minutes or hours at a time. And some of the grippy sandpaper-esque stuff kind of flakes off onto my hands, which I don't like either. So yeah, probably a waste of money, but you know, we learned something, so that's good, I guess. Alright, so next thing I would like to do is also related to the main firing grip, and that is, as you can see, as is known with this platform, it can kind of wobble around and make some not good noises and doesn't feel great, and kind of has an open seam on both sides. So I am going to try to find a way to kind of tighten this up a little bit and have some better feeling tolerances. Okay, so I tried a few different methods of adding E-tape to the grip connection point to tighten up the tolerances and reduce the wobble and plastic creak. So far, I think I did a pretty decent job. It's not totally eliminated, but it's about the best I could get. It's a nice sweet spot, because too much E-tape will actually make it worse by forcing the grip outwards and have more stress on the screw posts, and not enough E-tape just simply won't fix the issue. I just simply wrap some tape all the way around this, so of course I will have to cut it to open up the lower receiver, but I shouldn't have to do that too often. And then just poke some holes so that the screw post can pass through, and that's it. Just one single wrap all the way around, and that's kind of the best that I could do. So yeah, I think that's going to cover it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.